April. Today's project is iron-on. I haven't done an iron-on project for you guys in a while, and I thought we have a lot of new people, so I wanted to do an iron-on project to show you guys how to cut, weed, and layer. Now there are two files in this project file that I've given you guys, and one of them I have removed the wording and left it blank. Mine says, "My strength is gained from the things I survive." Don't know if you guys can see that on there, but you will when I wit it. And the other one just says, "My strength is." So it's left blank for you to fill in what you want there. And I would love to see you guys post all your strength t-shirts or bags, whatever it is you put yours on. I use the Cozy Caps font. I am not sure where I got it. I'm going to research that. If I can find it, I will place it down below. If I can't find it, all you're going to do is go to Contour, and you're going to take out the M, the Y, the I, and the S, and you'll see the others I've already contoured out. That's simply all I did was contour it and remove those letters, and then you can use whatever font you want for my is and the rest of it, but your strength will still be there. So that being said, when you cut your iron on, your pretty side is going to go onto the mat, and you're going to cut it with this side up on the mat. Let me just grab. So if this was not cut and I was going to cut it, that's my nice pretty side. I'm going to put it on the mat like that, and that's how I'm going to cut it. Okay? Same with the other. Shiny, pretty side to the mat. The shiny side's your carrier, okay? That's your heat-resistant carrier. And it doesn't get cut. You're not supposed to cut it. So you just want to make sure that it cuts through. And I cut this. This is the Cricut foil. So we're going to be layering Cricut Everyday Iron-On and Cricut foil. And I'm just going to go ahead, and this is called weeding. We're going to remove the areas that we do not want to iron on. Okay, we're just going to peel all that out of there. And looks like I got a couple of little stray pieces in there, so I'm going to get those out. There we go. I like to leave mine on the mat to weed it, just to make it easier for me. So now I've got all that weeded, and so when I flip it over, it's going to be correct on my mat. And that is because when I cut it, I made sure that I selected mirror. On that mat screen, you see a little button down below. It says mirror. You want to mirror your iron-on. If you do not mirror it, then when you go to iron it on, it's going to be backwards because we want it to cut backwards. And you're about to see that. I'm going to start weeding here. And let me just get my corner started. Just going to start peeling that back. My outer piece. So you want to make sure all of your specialty vinyls like glitter iron-on, holographic iron-on, printable iron-ons, pattern iron-ons, foil iron-ons, those are not base materials. And what I mean by base, if you're layering and you're not slicing out, this is called slicing. I sliced out the piece. If you're not doing that, then you're layering on top, and then this would be the base, and then the color would be on the top. So base layers are basic iron-ons, okay? There are a few that you can layer in specialty, like Strip Lock Pro. It is a layerable material. And if you are using Caesar or Cricut or whatever, if you look on their sites, you will see, and it will tell you what you can layer and what you can't. So now when I flip this over to iron it on, because my carrier is sticky, it's going to stick to my shirt and hold it in place while I iron it on. I am just going to flip it over on my Teflon sheet, and I am going to look at the middle of my E's, my G's, my flower. I'm in the center of everything. And I'm just going to say, weed it, check it again, and then before you iron it on, check it again. Because if you don't, inadvertently, there's going to be a straggling piece that you missed. We've all done it. So the way that I do my iron on is I've got my sticky side out, my shiny side in, and I am just going to line up, and this pattern is easy. Some patterns will be a little more difficult. Mine's a little sticky because my mat was sticky, and sometimes that will happen. It will pull some stick from your mat. But I'm just going to line up those two corners, and I am going to pinch my carrier right there. And I'm going to come down here to the bottom, and I can't really line up the corners because there's not a corner, but I can line up that line right there. Make sure that that line is straight. I'm going to pinch that carrier right there. So now you can see I've got a crease in that carrier here and here. Okay? There's a reason for that. There's a method to my madness, I promise. And then I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I've got this lined up where it goes. That's the way that it goes. I want to make sure that I've got it the right way. And just so I know which way is top and bottom, I'm going to pinch it. Okay? That for no other reason. And then I'm going to fold the corner back to let me know that's my top right. And you can do just the top right if you want to. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn on our heat press, and I'm going to pause while mine heats up. I am going to be using the Cricut Easy Press. I've got the big guy here, and I am going to heat it up, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about how we line it up on the shirt. Okay, so here I am over here on my Easy Press guide while we're waiting on our Easy Press to heat up. We're going to go to the Cricut Easy Press 2 because that's what I'm using, okay? You want to select whatever you're using. And so I've got that one selected. You see the green line under it. And then I am going to pick what I'm using. And I am using Everyday Iron-On. This is Everyday Iron-On, light or metallic. Okay, so I'm just going to select Everyday Iron-On, and my base material is what I'm putting it on. And I am using a cotton shirt that is 100% cotton. I am using an Easy Press mat and not a towel underneath it, and I'm going to click Apply. And then it's going to tell me that I need to heat my Easy Press up to 315 degrees. Okay, so mine was set from a different project. So I'm going to go in and set that down to 315. Okay, so now it's set at 315 and it wants me to do it for 30 seconds. So I'm going to click on my timer on my press and I'm going to set my timer for 30 seconds. And then it's going to heat up, and while it's heating up, it tells me I'm going to use a light pressure, and then I'm going to flip it and press it for 15 seconds. That is the Cricut thing. I'm just going to be honest. I have never done that, and I've never had a problem with my Cricut iron-on. And it's just my opinion that, to me, that's overheating it. So I just have never done it, and mine doesn't come off. I haven't had any problems, any issues. I do not baby my iron-on. I do not... I don't wash it with fabric softeners. Well, I take that back. I do. I do use a fabric softener sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes I do. And if the shirt happens to be in there, then it's in there. I throw it in the dryer and wash it. I don't baby any of it. So that's a beep that my heat press is ready. If you are brand new, I'm going to say... please follow these instructions for the iron-on until you learn. But you will learn when it's ready and when it isn't. And it tells you right here, supplies and 100% cotton pre-washed without a fabric softener. Fabric softeners will keep your iron-on from adhering, guys. A lot of people use parchment paper. I'm just going to say this. I use parchment paper to cook fish so that it doesn't dry out because it steams and holds in the moisture. If there is any moisture in your fabric and you put that parchment paper on top of it, it's going to trap that steam into your shirt. And that can cause your iron-on to fail. I've never used parchment paper. Again, I've never had mine fail. Well, I take that back. I've had one fail, but I put it on a Scotch-guarded item without knowing it had Scotch-guard on it, and it didn't stick. So that was my fail for that. But follow their instructions with their iron-on till you're used to it, and then you will figure out what works for you. I do not wash my shirts. A lot of people do pre-wash. I do not. Okay. To me, and I'm not going to buy a t-shirt, especially if I'm selling from somebody or buying a t-shirt if somebody's selling, if it's been washed. I don't know what they wash in their wash machines and things like that. So that's just me. I'm OCD about that, but totally your choice. Okay. And I am using, I'm going to flip over here in just a second, a Gildan shirt. So that's 100% cotton. My Easy Presses heat up, and I've got my cotton on clean mat, and I'm going to preheat it. That I am going to do. We're going to show you that. And then your application. So just follow all of these instructions and you'll be fine. I do not wash mine for at least 24 to 48 hours. So that's a good thing. All right, so let's go back over to the camera and let's press this. Okay, guys, so here's my shirt. It's a Gildan shirt. All I had was an extra large. Since I've been on my diet and I lost weight, it won't fit me, but it's all I had, so we're going to use it. And just going to bring my shoulders up. I'm just taking my shoulder seams and I'm matching those up, and I'm making sure that my collar is all matched up here. And then I'm coming over to the under the arms and making sure that matches up. I know this sounds crazy, but trust me. Trust me, trust me. Okay, and I usually put mine 3 inches down or a hand's width down from the bottom of the collar. So I know that I want to start right about here. I don't have a lot of room with being on my desk for this in this camera, but we're going to make do. So now I've got it all smoothed out, and I know this is the very top of my shirt. I'm going to take my press, and I'm just going to press it for about 5 to 10 seconds on the side because I have it doubled. Okay, so I'm going to press it for a few seconds. All right, then I'm going to move that out of the way, and I'm going to flip it over. And this is the preheat. It's going to take some moisture out of the shirt. And if you feel it when it comes off there, sometimes it's going to feel a little damp. And that is the moisture in the shirt coming out of it, because all fabric has moisture in it, okay? So now I've got that heated up, preheated, and pressed. I'm going to unfold it now. And I'm going to lay it on my mat. And I'm going to make sure that I want at least that far. Yeah, that's good. I just want to be on the mat about 1 inch so that I know where I'm going. But now I have a crease down the middle. Guess what I'm going to do with that crease? I am going to line up my crease on this line, and my head may get into this camera view, but that's the only way I can see it. And then I'm going to also lay this crease down on that one. And let me just double check this. Okay, and now this crease is lined up with the crease that I just made on the shirt, and this one is lined up. That's what you're going to do. You're just going to jiggle it around till it's lined up where you want it. And then you can take it and look at it and make sure that it's straight. You can check it, all of that. And my carrier sheet's a little bit tacky from my mat. I don't, that happens. Sometimes it picks up some stick. But I like to use a Teflon sheet regardless. You can get this, or you can use butcher paper, but I would not use parchment paper. I prefer the Teflon because it breathes. If any moisture is in there, it won't trap it. So now we're going to heat it. And remember that it said to press it at 315 for 30 seconds. We are not going to do that because we are layering. And if we do that, this could shrink up just a little bit, and then our other piece won't fit. So all I'm going to do is bring my press over, and I'm going to start my timer. And I'm going to press this for about 10 seconds. 5 to 10. Just long enough to get it to stick. Okay? And this is a warm peel, and it's not quite sticking yet there or there. I'm going to press it again for just a few seconds. And this is actually a cool peel. It did say cool peel. So I'm going to let it cool for just a second. And then I'm going to try to peel that up because I didn't heat that for the full time. My timer was running while it was sitting over there. 5 to 10 seconds, that's all. I'm going to cool it. It's not cool yet. It's still hot. I paused my camera and ran into the kitchen and laid it on my granite countertop. Cooled it really quick. So we're just going to start that peel. And I just held that corner a little bit to get it going. And I'm just going to peel it slowly. I don't want to rip any letters off or anything like that, anything that's sticking. I want to make sure it stays on the shirt. It is not on there good enough that it won't come off because I haven't heated it for the entire time and gotten that adhesive fully melted to the fabric. So you can save this, and you can use this, guys, when you're doing patterned iron-on or printable iron-on that requires, your ones for darks usually require a carrier, and it's called Easy Mask. And you can buy just Easy Mask, but you can save pieces like that, and you can use those when you have that situation. So now I'm going to place my foil in there. And I'm just going to go back over to my Easy Press Guide, and I am going to check, and I'm going to change it to everyday foil because you need to know what your foil is. And I am going to select my cotton, same thing again, in my Easy Press mat, and apply just like we did before. Now it needs to apply at 295, and this one is at 315, so there's a 20-degree difference. And I am just going to, both of them are for 30 seconds. So I am just going to take my temperature down to the 295. And it won't take it but a second. So while that's doing, I'm going to make sure that this lines up inside those lines perfectly. Now, if I had heated that for the whole time, this piece probably would be on top of the black, but it isn't. It's fitting in there perfectly without any shrinkage. But when I go to heat this, this is not protected, okay? There's nothing on it. So I have to have either that carrier and put it back on there and cover everything, okay? Which you can do. We're just going to do that. Just going to put that back on there. If you happen to have thrown that away or you don't want to use it, you can use a Teflon sheet, okay? But you need to protect the entire design because you're not through pressing, and you have to press the entire thing for the full 30 seconds now. And I'm still going to use my carrier, right here, my Teflon sheet. And we're down to about 305 because I'm using a double carrier and I'm using this. I'm going to go with it, okay? And I'm just going to place it on top, light pressure, and I'm going to hit that button. And we're just going to press it for the 30 seconds. I'm going to remove it. And now, This is a cool peel, and I'm telling you now, foil is a cool peel. Please don't try to peel that while it's warm. It will mess up your foil. And I've got some air bubbles there, so they may show up on my iron-on, but they will go away with washing. They will be gone. All right, so we're going to let this cool, and I'll be right back. There we go. Love granite countertops for that. All right, so now we're just going to peel off that top carrier. And now it's going to take that other carrier with it. We're just going to peel slowly. Beautiful. And then I'm just going to save that carrier. And now that is how your foil should look. If you peeled it warm or you overheated it, it's going to dull that finish. You want that mirror-like finish. Cricut foil is my favorite foil. It's, to me, in my honest opinion, guys, it is the easiest foil there is to work with. As long as you follow the instructions, you should do fine with it. Don't try to warm peel it, and you will get that mirror-like finish. Love, 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 love. Guys, if you have any questions whatsoever, please do not hesitate to leave a comment down below. Give a like and a thumbs up. Come to the group and ask questions. Happy to help you over there as well. You have a wonderful day, and I will catch you on the next video.